Hi everyone, it's Sandy. Thank you for joining me here on my channel. I made this really fun trifold folio in my recent video using 1 12x12 paper. And for those of you that had made it and enjoyed my videos, thank you so much. I also had shared what was inside the trifold folder, and I thought I'd show you the measurements on how to make some of the inserts in here in this video, as some of you had commented wanting to know the measurements and how I made it. So I thought I'd show you in here on how I made the inserts. So inside the trifold folder, I'll also link down below the tutorial for this project if you missed out on having a look at it. But there was this file tab sort of folder, or you could use this as a cover for a booklet and then insert some of your papers and folding them. You can then stitch it or staple it or add some string around it to make it into a booklet. I placed this die cut with a brad and just use that as a way to keep it closed. So I'm going to show you how to make one of these for your folio. I then shared with you the other insert, which is a pretty straightforward match booklet, which you've probably seen in a lot of videos, but I'll give you the measurements for the one I've made for this folio. It just simply opens up like that. You can place some tags in here, some ephemera pieces, some notes, note cards, whatever you like. So it's a nice long one. I'll give you the measurements on how I made that to fit on the side here, but this can also fit on the other pocket in here as well, so you can make a couple of these. Actually, with this one you can make 4 of these match booklets with 1 12x12 paper. So you can make one to fit in here. You can even fit one to fit in this tuck pocket. You could fit one in the back pocket here. You can then also add one here, so you can have 4 coordinating match booklets. So that's another idea for you. Or these are great as gift giving. You can make a ton of these with a 12x12 paper and make 4 of them. And this is the other side, which is just a belly band. It's a really fun folder, great with just one piece of paper to make one of these really easily. And then I added some vellum here just to add a little bit of interest to the folder. But yeah, I'll put the link down below. And then what I decided to do, I decided to add another insert as well, just for another idea. Just a simple a tall, slim side pocket, which you could also use this as a bookmark or a page marker. It just has a little side tuck pocket there where you can add other bits and pieces of your ephemera pieces. This was the one I showed you in the tutorial. I just made it to coordinate the folder, and that just simply fits in there. And then you've got this little like a tab shape piece on the top where it peeks up the top and just decorates the edge. So I thought I'd add this in here and also give you the measurements for it. It's really easy. You'll probably know how to make one of these, but I just thought I'd show you the measurements. And that can also fit in here. So look how cute that is. Some of these little simple projects won't fit in there because it's a little bit taller because of the glue that's stuck on both of it. But just another extra piece. I'm going to give you the measurements for that as well. So just a little extra one to give you some ideas. The papers I use for this whole tutorial and the projects, in case you're wanting to know what I used, was the Pebbles Sunny Blooms 12x12 paper pad. It's a double-sided paper. It's a lot of fun papers in here. There are some fussy cut pieces. There are also tags in here, but I just thought I'd share with you the papers I used. So I'm going to show you how to make these 3 pieces in this video. So we're going to need 3 pieces of papers. So for this one here, for the file tab booklet, you want to cut a piece at 7 inches by 6.5 inches. For the match booklet, you want to cut a piece at 3 inches by 12 inches. So you can get 4 strips of these and make 4 of these match booklets if you wanted to. But I'm just going to make one. So it's 3 inches by 12 inches. And this slim side pocket, I cut the paper at 4 and I think it was 4.5. 4.5. So it was 4.5 inches by 6 inches. And you just need a scrap piece of paper for the tab, and you can just cut that. I did cut one up in here. I cut mine at 1/2 inch by about 2 inches, and I did use double-sided paper. If you haven't got double-sided paper, you can just back 2 pieces of paper together so you get 2 different prints, and then I'll glue it together back to back. So this was just at 1/2 inch by 2 inches. So that is for the tab. Also, you'd want a strip for the match booklet if you wanted to, because we staple the pocket to keep it together. And then I just use a strip of scrap paper to cover the staples. And that's also at 1/2 inch, and just cut a length a little bit wider than 3 inches. So maybe 4 inches wide by 1/2 inch. And that's all there is. So let's get started. So these are the 3 main pieces we're going to need, then just a few scrap pieces. What we'll do first, let's make we'll make the slim tall side pocket, because that's an easy one to do, which is pretty straightforward. Let's just move that. I'll just move that to the side first. And then what I've done here is I did decorate the front part of the side pocket with, I just fussy cut an image, which was a tag from the collection, and fussy cut that and added to the front. So pick out something that you want to decorate the front with, if you wanted to do that. So with this one, I'm just going to use a large scoreboard. I'll just move that over a bit so we've got some room. So it's double-sided paper. You just want to decide which one you want as your cover, and then the other part, the back part, will be that side. So I'll do the same as this one. This is the cover. I've got facing down on the 4.5 inch side, and we are simply going to score it at, what did I score it at? 1 3/4 inches. So on the 4.5 inch side, we score at 1 3/4 of an inch, all the way down, 1 3/4. And that's all there is for that scoring. And all we do here is we're just going to fold that over. It's pretty straightforward. And then you've got yourself a side pocket. All we got to do now is, before we glue down the side pocket, if you wanted to add a tab part, we'll do that first. I've collected just a few bits and pieces in here, which I just wanted to collect. So I've got this piece. I'm going to corner around just the 2 top parts, just to tidy that up, and it looks like a tab. We're going to glue that down on the wider part, just gluing that down and leaving a little bit on the top to make the tab. Add a bit of glue to the bottom edge. And you can center it, you can move it over to far left or to the right. Place it wherever you're happy with. So I'll place mine in the center. Once that's glued down, all we do now is glue the top part there and the bottom. You could also create a notch if you wanted to add a notch here. Do that first before you glue down the side pocket. But I'll just leave mine like this. And here you have yourself a quick and simple tall slim side pocket, which also make a great bookmark for your journals or your planners or your organizers, or just place them inside your folio. and decorate the front if you wanted to decorate that. So let's see, maybe I might just quickly do that in this video. You can also use a tag. If you've got a bunch of tags and you don't know what to do with them, you can just glue it down halfway, add some glue halfway, and then glue it down to the front to decorate that. And that also gives you a more decorative edge to your front pocket. But I'm going to fussy cut mine like this one. Now I might use this one. I think I'll use the pairs. Now actually I'll do the pairs because it's quicker to fussy cut. So all I'll do is I'm just going to use my scissors and just sort of go around. If you've already got die cuts that's already been pre-cut, then you can add that. You can add some words. You could even add another tab like this and add it to the side here if you wanted to. So many ways to decorate it. You can add some trim. You could even use your decorative, what do they call it? Decorative edge die. And you can run that through your die cutting machine and have a decorative edge. I just get a bit lazy and just keep mine like this. So I'm just going to glue that there. How cute is that already? So let's glue that down. I didn't use any foam squares or glue dots, or foam squares. I just want to keep it all flat. So we've got that. I forgot to add glue here, a little bit more. So that just decorates that. And then with the word sentiment, I'm going to just I should use my paper trimmer, but I'll just hand cut it. Try and get it straight. I'll put that underneath. And I can just glue that down. Not even. And there is your side pocket already done with just a couple of pieces to decorate the edge or the front of the pocket. So there is your side pocket ready to add into your folio, same as this one. That one's all done. We'll move ahead now and we'll do the match booklet. Let's just put that there and we'll come back to it later. For the match booklet, let me just bring it out. Okay. I'm just going to point something out with my match booklet when I made it. Depending on your glue, how much glue you add to the top and bottom here, depending how thick it is. So this one here, I made it to fit inside this. So you can see it's a little bit tight. I don't like it when it's too tight because of the glue. And then when I made this one, I'm going to show you, it doesn't quite fit in this one because I've had a little bit more glue. It was a little bit thicker, so it does fit, but it's a little bit tight. So depending how much glue you put in there, you'll have to just determine how far down you're going to make this closure, just so that there is enough space. So I'm kind of hoping you know what I mean when I say about folding that over. This is just for those that have not made a match booklet, but most of you that know how to make it probably know. You just adjust the closure to fit. So I have another piece here. And we're going to, let me just see, what was it, 1 3/4 by 5. Okay, so what we're going to do first, so this is going to be my cover. I'm going to face that down, and this part will be the pocket part, which is the same as this one. So let's just put that down, and we'll just make one score line at the bottom at 1 3/4, as same as the other score line. 1 3/4. We're going to fold that over. I'm going to grab this one because I want to put it in this one. What I'm going to do here is I'm not going to fold down completely. I'm just going to sort of give it a little bit of space. So maybe about there, kind of hoping, because I don't want too many score lines. So let's just see where I've got it there. I'm just going to play it safe and allow a little bit of room. Let me see what that score line would be. So that's about 7 1/4. I'm going to do 7 1/4 inches for this one. 7 1/4. Let's hope that's right. This one's probably a little bit taller. So you can see it's just a little bit taller, but that's okay. The main thing is you want to make sure that this is going to close, and then what we'll do is we'll just trim off this little bit later. I'm just going to check that that fits. See, that fits nicely in there. See how it's nice? It just slides in and out nicely. So it's not going to be tight. So that's part's done. So now we've got ourselves a match booklet. And then I'm going to trim off a little bit of here, but I still want it enough so that it's going to tuck inside. So I'm just going to trim off just a little bit. What we can actually do is, I think, yeah, I'm just going to trim off probably about 1/4 inch. You probably want to staple it first. So I'm going to staple this down. So when you staple it, you want to staple it as far down there so you don't catch onto that. So I'm just going to lift that up. Most of you have an idea on how to make these. These are so easy and fun to make. You can make a bunch of these. So that slides in nicely. So that's enough. I'm happy with that. And that is your match booklet. Now we've got this piece here with the staple, which I don't want it showing. I'll just grab this piece. And I'm just going to fold that, wrap that around to the back. Also depends on the width of your staple. Just cut your strip of paper to the width of your staple. So I'm just going to do that, bring that over, and let's glue this down. Just add glue all around the back. And so there we have a match booklet, all done. And you can decorate the front if you wanted to. So there we have the match booklet for your side pocket. So that's done. So we've got one more to do now, and that is the top file tab folder or booklet cover, journal cover. With this one, you can move your tab far right, to the left, or in the middle. What you do here is you just want to, when you cut it and stop it, I guess, to where you want your finished part of the tab. I'm going to do mine in the middle because I like that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a score line. That's my cover. It's pretty much folding it in half at so on your 7-inch side, we're going to score it at 3.5 inches. So it's pretty much just in half, folding it in half. There's your score line. And what we're going to do is we are going to go this way on your trimmer. So there's your score line. We are going to come down a 1/2 inch and you're going to cut. So we're going to come down 1/2 inch, you're going to cut all the way going through that score line and just stopping about 1/2 inch in, and then you're going to cut this way 1/2 inch in as well. Pretty much just try and work out where your center part will be. I don't think it really matters if it's not right in the center. So I've gone in now at 1/2 inch. So that's my cutting point. That's where I'm going to cut. So I'm going to cut all the way and stop about 1/2 inch in past that score line. And then I'm going to come in this way, going in about 1/2 inch and then stopping. So let's go and try that. It's probably not going to be perfect. You can also just mark your center. Find out where your center is. And so if you look, I don't know if you can see, there's where I've made the cut. And that's where I've cut all the way across. I might even go a little bit more. I might even just use my scissors. So you can see that's gone more than this. So let me I just eyeball it. I don't make it as too perfect. So that's how I've cut it. So if you want your tab all the way here, you're going to cut all the way up to how wide you want your tab, but don't cut on the edge there. So I'm happy with that. And then I'm just going to cut in. So I'm cutting that way. And then I'm also going to cut in the other way. Going in this way. So you can see now it's like a tab. I mean, it's not the same shape, but... Okay, so that's that. So the further you cut in, the shorter your tab is going to be. So it's just a bit of a practice till you get it to where you want it. I'm just going to now fold it on that score line, and there you have your tab shape booklet. You can also corner around your corners, and that's this one. So that is just another some ideas for inserts to make for your file folders. So I hope this was a helpful video on my measurements to add inside 3 little mini projects. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all soon in my next video. Bye for now.